Today, we discuss how an insane pursuit of high yields, coupled with nature's overplay, caused this famine. The girlfriend quickly shut the door, fearing being caught in nature's wild party. This strained their vibe. Next day, Yuan Longping reached his rural friends. Suddenly, the girl plopped down. We learned she had eaten nothing for 2 days. Yuan Longping quickly pulled out a flatbread, but the little girl hesitated, as if it were a rare treasure. Confused, he asked why she wasn't eating, and his eyes nearly filled with tears. He felt helpless as an agricultural expert, and before he knew it, night fell. Despite having little to eat at home, the students' parents brought out the finest wild vegetables. Actually, the family fared okay. Many in the village rarely saw such food, eating Guanyin soil instead, causing many to suffer. Hearing this, Yuan Longping felt a mix of emotions and ate absent-mindedly. The girl thought he disliked wild veggies and stacked stools in a nearby hut. Then she started climbing up, and suddenly a scream echoed. The 3 who were eating rushed over. "Little buddy, what on earth are you doing by climbing up high?" "I want to pick up the beans that fell on Mount Lian to feed my teacher." "But those are next year's seeds. Why would you do that?" Yuan Longping looked at the hanging rice seeds with despair. The student told the teacher his father struggled hard to bring back the seeds. It was tough. His mother was starving, and the father wanted to make porridge for her using some of the rice seeds. But the mother clutched the bag of seeds tightly, claiming they were the family's lifeline and couldn't be touched. In the end, she held on until her last moment. After hearing this, Yuan Longping said nothing, but his eyes spoke volumes of determination. From that moment on, it was like he reset his mode, diving day and night into rice breeding. Whenever he was hungry, he'd soak leftover rice in hot water. Perhaps due to his intense focus, he forgot about his own affairs and heard from a friend that his girlfriend was getting married. Subtitles. He rushed out to search for her, and that very night it happened to be snowing. His girlfriend tearfully broke up with him. Yuan Longping sadly played the violin by the lake, unaware that behind him another seed of admiration was quietly sprouting. Before they knew it, it was graduation night. Yuan Longping gathered with students by the campfire, while Don Jai stood to the side, not joining in. Yuan Longping noticed her, went to ask, and learned she was sad about the impending farewell. Then Don Jai gave Yuan Longping a gift, hoping it would remind him of her. At that time, Yuan Longping didn't recognize it as a heartfelt hint. Fast forward to 1961, despite some easing of the widespread famine. Food remained tight, and Secretary Cheng revisited the high-yield rice found last year. The principal quickly reported that the offspring of the high-yield rice were all over the place, and none could compare to the previous generation. Taking the chance, Teacher Liu launched an attack on Yuan Longping's research, saying it was completely worthless. Luckily, Secretary Chen was very wise and pointed out that it's just like war. Who can guarantee winning every battle? Meanwhile, Yuan Longping kept his gaze fixed on the rice he had cultivated, and after a long time of thought, he finally figured something out. "I always thought they were natural high-yield rice, but actually, they're natural hybrid rice." He needed to find a naturally occurring male sterile plant for breeding, but those were as rare as unicorns. Such male steriles might only appear among hundreds of thousands of grains, and no one had ever seen one. Meanwhile, Don Jai returned to school to practice basketball and happened to run into the principal. "Come watch our game next Tuesday, and let's invite Yuan Longping too." The principal grasped his meaning at once and hurried to his office, urging Yuan Longping to express his feelings, noting that opportunities vanish swiftly. "Miss it, and you'll have no chance of regret." Yuan Longping, a straightforward man, ran to the court to propose to Don Jai. And just like that, they soon walked into the hall of marriage, and though simple, the wedding was a blast. Everyone was buzzing with excitement, eager to hear about their love story. It turns out Yuan Longping had secretly planned, but dared not say. He feared hurting her feelings, and it wasn't until that day when they found the high-yield rice together that everything changed. The red ribbon used for marking was the beginning of their dream, symbolizing their bond. Shortly after the wedding, Yuan Longping dove back into work, and his wife became his strongest support. Together, they searched the fields for that rare male sterile plant, and hard work pays off. One day, they finally found an extraordinary story. Yuan Longping quickly grabbed a magnifying glass to examine it, excited like a kid on Christmas. This flower structure is perfect, and the pollen won't disperse. This is exactly what we've been looking for. This is the rare male sterile plant we need. Yuan Longping was ecstatic and immediately began documenting it. After 2 years of relentless effort, Yuan Longping's research progressed, yet he shared it openly in a published paper. Just as everything seemed to be heading in the right direction, a storm of change quietly approached. On one of those days, Yuan Longping was working diligently in the fields when his wife rushed over. She told him that a group of red guards was smashing things up at their home. When Yuan Longping hurriedly rushed back home, he found a scene of complete chaos. Years of effort turned futile. Faced with this, Yuan Longping, grief-stricken, cried all night by the river, until the next morning 2 students came to tell him some huge good news. They had secretly moved the most precious rice before those people came, hiding it in a stinky ditch. Upon hearing this, Yuan Longping instantly reignited his hopes, but soon after, the news vanished like a magician's trick. The students returned, but this time, they didn't just want to destroy the remaining rice. They even wanted to take it away to criticize. Luckily, a timely intervention from the paper he had published saved him. The nation greatly valued his research, asked leaders at all levels to support him, and even promoted him as workgroup's technical advisor. His wife was moved to tears, as she deeply understood the hardships her husband had faced over the years. In 1964, Yuan Longping fulfilled national and public expectations with his 3-line hybrid rice method, marking a groundbreaking chapter in human rice production history. And this became the most cherished moment of his life.